Quiet on set. Picture is up. All right, roll sound.
Rolling.
Roll cameras.
Cam's rolling.
And 3, 2.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Hank's Think Tank. We are finally at the end of the interviews for the City of Roman Forest City Council positions. And today I have with me Larry Sanders. He is running for a position and he's running against Fallon Bulai. And she was in yesterday. Her video isn't up yet, but I'm working on it. Larry ran last time around as well, and he's heavily involved in what's going on. He visits city council quite often and has a pretty good knowledge on what's going on in the city of Roman Forest. So, good afternoon, Larry. How's it going?
Hey, having a great afternoon, enjoying the weather.
Yeah, it's finally starting to cool off just a little bit.
Yeah, in the mornings it's good. In the afternoons, you really don't want to be outside too much.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, but I'm glad that it is getting better because this summer was just brutal.
Yes, it
freaking
was.
Brutal. So, okay, well, I want to get started right away by asking basically the same line of questioning I've asked all the candidates. What made you decide that you wanted to run for a council position, become a councilman for City of Roman Forest?
Well, it started about 4 years ago when I moved to Roman Forest. I started attending the council meetings, and I was listening and watching and not really putting too much input into what was going on except what the mayor and the city councilmen were saying and how the city was being run. And after a couple of years, I decided I'd run for city council to try to help the city and try to eliminate a few of the problems that I see.
Okay. And anything right off the top of your head that comes to you as just one of the problems you'd like to attack once you get elected?
We have plenty of problems in the city. One thing we need our new administration that we're going to have is going to have lots of problems tackling stuff right off the bat. Mm-hmm. We got to get caught up with things that's going on in the community and why it's going on. But one of the many things we have been looking at, or I have been fussing about, griping about, is permitting. We need to get our permitting straight. For 3 years, I've been going to the city council talking about permitting issues. Why don't we get our prices right on permitting? No, we don't get anything. We just keep passing it over. Why do you have to pay, $650 for a Generac permit when it doesn't cost you that? I understand having to get an electrical or a plumbing permit for that, but not all the other stuff. Replacing windows in your house. If I'm replacing a window in kind, why do I need a permit? If a tree blows through it or breaks your window, you can have it done without a permit real quick. So why do I have to have one right off the bat? Is it just for the city to get money or what? I don't think that's right. I think we need to reevaluate our permits, which we have done, but nothing has ever come out of it. Let's get off the ball and get it rolling.
Okay.
That's the only way you can get there. If you don't get there doing that, fine. One of the other big issues we have is drainage. The people in Roman Forest Estates have a very difficult problem with drainage.
And this is the new section.
That's the new
4.
section, yes.
Okay.
And it seems like every heavy rain, they're having problems with our drainage. Let's get some grants going. We have a few grants, I believe, already, but it's a matching grant. I think there's some other grants available where we can get money to do things without anything being matched. When they did the Venus Ditch repair, there was no matching funds on that. They just went ahead and got FEMA funds to do that. Why can't we do that? We need someone in the administration to do grants for us and not it's aggravating watching what some of the things that go on from meeting to meeting. I'm sorry.
I get it. So have any homes flooded in the new section 4, or is it just street flooding?
Well, it's street and yard flooding.
Okay.
I don't believe any homes have flooded yet, but it's just a matter of time as these drainage ditches get filled up with silt and can't drain. Mm-hmm. Some of these houses could flood. And we need to address the situation now. The city engineer needs to address it more than he's been doing. I think we need to force that issue.
Okay. So drainage is a big deal and permitting as well. And so, do you think that there should be maybe a committee to oversee the whole permit restructure, or how do you think that could be done?
I think on the permitting, we need to. The young lady that's doing the permitting, 2 days a week and 2 days of court. She's just overwhelmed with what to do.
It's a big job.
Yes, it's a big job and has things to do. But I think if we could get a committee or a group together, sometimes it's called a deed restriction committee or just architectural review committee. Help her out with citizens to get those permits done lots faster and release lots of her headaches. I think we can do that.
Okay.
But we have to look at it. We need to develop some type of little committee to look how we can expedite it, and then instead of just kicking it around.
Yeah. And so that would be like an advisory committee that would go back to city council and say, okay, permits 1, 7, 5, and 9 are no longer valid. We recommend that you guys do away with those. Something like that, right?
And some of my understanding is that this young lady that's in the permit, she's having to do lots of the work that the homeowners should be doing with the builders or with our contractors, I should say. And that's what's taking her so long to get some of her permits down. And when I sat down and talked with her, let's try to expedite that. Let's let the builder, if he's a contractor, he's going to do something, let him get the paperwork to our city instead of our city having to run it down all over the place.
So streamline it.
Yes, extreme streamlining would be the best thing to do.
Okay.
I don't like seeing somebody working so hard where they can make mistakes. And you can really make mistakes if you don't get some of the streamline working properly.
Right.
And she's doing a great job. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, let's not make those mistakes. Let's get things go in the right direction.
Okay.
And
so on the drainage, going back to drainage, so you think just basically applying for grants and starting to look at drainage from a different perspective maybe?
There are a number of things out there with the drainage. I think we need to also go back to Montgomery County. Hey, how do we get the water out of our yard into your yard? And how are you going to get rid of it? Just because we get it to a drainage ditch at the edge of the city, it has to go someplace. That's going to be Montgomery County's going to have to jump in and say, yes, we're going to do these ditches, or we're going to put box covers in to get it to the creeks or whatever. That has to be done. I mean, we can't just sit back and wish.
Yeah.
Wishing don't get you any place.
Yeah. And I think one of the other problems that's kind of happened countywide is that we've experienced such rapid growth that we've built a lot without having the time and what's necessary to go in and say, okay, before we build this, let's consider what drainage is going to look like.
Yes. We shouldn't.
So we're kind of behind the 8 ball on that one instead of ahead of it.
Yeah, we shouldn't build anything else new in the city. I mean, I said there new homes are going in, but I don't think anything large scale like another section should go in until we resolve this drainage issue.
Yeah.
And we have to get the developer up front to decide how he's going to drain it, not us.
Yeah. Okay, so recently there's been some big staff changes at Roman Forest. So the city secretary resigned, then the city finance manager resigned, and then right after that, the city administrator resigned. What does that look like for you? I mean, what are your thoughts on what's going on, being that there's only one city employee left? I mean, what do you think's happening there at Roman Forest?
Well, the city manager, finance manager, and clerk, they left. And I don't want to say anything like that what they're doing was wrong, but this gives us an opportunity with new city manager, new finance city secretary to proceed and go forward in a new direction.
Okay.
It's new eyes on the road,
Yeah.
and maybe new eyes can help the city.
Okay. And so what uniquely qualifies you to be a city council person?
Well, I've got a degree in architecture, or associate's degree in architecture.
Okay.
Okay, I've done the house plans, and I can read the house plans. I've worked for civil engineering companies doing civil design, drainage, and stuff like that. And I know what goes on there. I've been also deed restriction chairpersons at different subdivisions I've lived in.
Okay.
So I bring that to the forefront to help the city. I mean, I feel I can help the city at this because there's so much the city needs help on, and I think we have so many residences out there that have some knowledge that we can ask for residents to help out.
Okay.
It's advisory committees, like you said.
Yeah, I get it.
Let's get something going instead of
Okay.
everybody fussing about it.
Okay.
Let's go from, like I said, kick the ball down the street. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. You know, the park and the pool have also been a hot topic of contention here lately. So, what are your thoughts on park and pool?
Well, the park, we have, with our funding, our city taxes and base and everything, there's some things we have to do and repair at the park.
Mm-hmm.
The splash pad, everybody says is not working, but it's the end of the season. We don't work on it, but if we need to get a new pump, we need to look at how we're going to get a new pump in there.
Okay.
And if the county is helping with the pool, they want people in. The county needs to come up and help the city with some financing on the pool. Okay, not just because not very many city individuals use the pool.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding, lots of the individuals in the pool are from other cities or suburbs around. So
Right.
let's get the county involved.
But they do pay to use the pool, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but I don't have the figures on what it costs to support the pool per year, but we're not getting enough off
Yeah, I bet it's
$5 or whatever the admission fee is to the pool.
It's a good sized pool. I bet it's pretty expensive.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Having the lifeguards and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we've lost on that,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sure it's not a break even.
Okay.
The park, the park is nice. We've had a bunch of trees come down in the latest storm and
Yeah.
getting that stuff all cleaned up. We have another park that we could have another park
Mm-hmm.
called Hubbard Park.
Yeah, Hubbard Park. What's the deal with that?
Well, it seemed like there was an authorization of somebody said these dirt could be dumped over there, and now we got to clean it up and bring more dirt in or do something to straighten it out.
Mm-hmm.
We need to look at grants for some type of grants to buy equipment. If it's just one swing or if it's one slide, if it takes 25 grants, let's do those 25 grants and get the monies in to buy those individual pieces. If we have to put a fence around it, we can put a fence around it. If we need to put a water fountain over there, let's look up getting a water fountain.
Okay.
I feel that there's monies available. We just have to go after them. We just can't wait.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so what do you think step number one is? I mean, we're kind of, things seem like they've imploded a little bit. So what do you think step number one is to bring the whole city back out of this and get the ship righted and back on course?
I think right at the moment we need to get a new city manager in there,
Okay.
get him involved, and get his thoughts on how he wants to go forward along with our thoughts.
Okay.
And it's not just the city manager is going to have to be the one that dictates day to day what goes on out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, get him involved.
Okay.
Um,
Real good. Do you have a website or anything like that?
I do not have a website.
Okay. What about a Facebook page?
I'm on the Roman Forest Clan and Roman Forest community.
Okay.
And if anybody wants to reach me through there, I will give them if they PM me, I will definitely contact them, give them my phone number where they can contact me.
Okay.
I'll talk about any issues out there.
Okay. Fantastic. Anything else you want to say to the average guy that hadn't made a decision between you and Fallon yet? I mean, what can you say to them to get them to swing your way?
Well, one of the things I look at different things in the city. We have different contracts that we issue out in the city for work done.
Mm-hmm.
I think we really need to look at how much we spend on those contracts, what the maximum we pay for, that are allowed to the city manager to approve that contract.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it's $10,000 maximum before we have to go back to the city council, let's have those bids come in. Let's manage our funds, not let it just be a run wild.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that it was run wild, but I'm just saying we have to manage them more closely now since we're in a tight budget issue.
Okay. All right. Real good. Any final thoughts before we get on out of here? Or?
Man, I just there are so many things we could talk about with the city
Yeah.
that would take hours on, but I would like to see the people, the homeowners, come to our city council meeting.
Okay.
We're having one tomorrow, Monday night.
Monday night.
Yeah, and then we have the night out at City Park with police.
Okay.
Come down there, meet everybody, meet who's running, and go into the city, voice your opinion at the city. Just voicing it to someone, and then they say something, and someone say something, doesn't get the point across. Come down there and put your voice in. In the last 3 months, we've had more people in city council meetings than we've had in years. You know,
That's good. Yeah.
Lots of times I just only see 10 or 12 people at city council. Now I'm seeing 30 and 40 filling the room up.
Yeah.
That's good. People are wanting to speak up and get things straight. So I hope someone will vote for me. I'm out there and my signs are going up.
Great. When are your signs going up?
One banner went up a few minutes ago.
Okay.
And
Fantastic.
this week I'll be putting signs up.
Okay.
If anybody wants one of my signs, PM me on Facebook and I'll definitely do it.
Okay. All right. Well, Larry, I appreciate you coming in. So, and I wish you the best of luck.
I appreciate you inviting me in.
It's a lot to stick your neck out and want to be elected for something, and I think it means a lot because you're involved in the community. So, yeah, I understand and been there, done that, and I know how it is.
Yeah, you have to be involved. If you don't get involved, you shouldn't be fussing that much about it.
There you go.
Talk to somebody.
That's it. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Larry Sanders. He is running for a city council position for the city of Roman Forest. And you can find him on Roman Forest Clan and Roman Forest Community by searching for Larry Sanders. And if you just send him a private message or a PM, then he'll send you his telephone number. You guys can get together and talk. It's important for us to be educated voters. We need to know these people, know what their ideas are, and make sure they line up with the way and direction that we want things to go. You know, as this being the final interview for the city of Roman Forest, you know, I'm sorry things have gone the way they've gone for the city right now. I do think that this does present a unique opportunity for the city to come back together and find a new path and a new direction forward. And I'm hoping that over a period of time, you guys can get all the, you know, the permitting and the drainage and everything else worked out, and be the shining city that we've always known Roman Forest to be. Larry, I appreciate you coming in, and again, I'll put in the description as much as I can about how to get in touch with you.
Okay.
And there you go, guys. And I'm also still going to do a public meeting or a public forum at the city of Roman Forest. I believe it's going to be sometime in October, but we haven't nailed down a date yet. So if you want to come to that, that's going to give you an opportunity to talk to these guys, see them face to face, shake their hand, and get to know who they are. I'm Hank Vatt. This is Hank's Think Tank, and see you in the next one.